how are you? My name is Quinlan and welcome to another episode of the Drumshow. What I'm doing tonight is a little bit of unison stuff, but without the normal unison stuff. What I'm getting at is opposites attract, a couple of different things. What I did then was I actually took my left foot and I straddled between the two pedals, the hi-hat and the left side of my double kick. So basically one foot did this. I can move my foot a little bit to get a tighter sound or bring it in to make it splash. It's all got to do with technique and just the angling of your ankle. And then what I do, that's my left foot. Now, one of the things about double bass drum playing, if we're going to get into that a little bit tonight, what happens is that I've got a loose theory about this. I am a little bit old-fashioned, I suppose, in this kind of thing. I'll freely admit that, in the sense that because of my age, I was a child of the 70s and grew up in I was born in 1960, so essentially grew up with the Beatles and running around in kinder singing Beatles songs and all that. I have sort of vague memories of that. But when I really got into drums, it was the world of Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath and all of that sort of stuff in the early 70s. When Smoke on the Water was a hit and still on the charts, that kind of thing. And one of the things that was always happening when I went to lessons was my dear old teacher Harold Ripper was always telling me, use your hi-hat, so it'd be like hi-hat's always there, and eventually always there. To the point where I actually ended up getting a double bass drum. Before a double kick, you needed two bass drums. By that stage, my left foot seemed to be always on the lead. That's my left foot. So, put it up here. So when I was doing that, because I was doing books like The Drummer's Cookbook, anyone been through that book? It's fantastic for 16th notes. But the right foot started to be more comfortable on the offbeats, right? So bum, 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 Now at this point I should be mentioning Bernard Purdie and people like that, Buddy Miles, and Clyde Stubblefield for this kind of playing. That's another lesson, anyway, because I'm doing double bass drum. So what happens is, because of my being brought up listening to John Bonham, Good Times, Bad Times, a hi-hat always going sort of thing, my left foot started to be on the lead. Once again, that's the left foot. So I could bring in my right foot. And that brings me into that kind of double bass drum sort of playing. So when I'm doing, say, a single stroke roll, I might be doing right, left with my hands, but I'm doing left, right with my feet. So it's right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. So it's opposites, right? Left foot there. Single. you're getting something out of it. That's a little bit of a thing that I do. Now, to even move it up a little bit more, I'll go to my left side bass drum here and paddle on that, so it's got a different tone, right? I sort of like that sort of boing, boing, boing sort of thing. Now, this is where I start to think about Herb Alexander from Primus here a little bit. His kind of pumping kind of double bass drum thing that he did on at the beginning of the Tales from the Punch Bowl album, Primus, 1995. He'd have this kind of... So there's my left bass drum. It's a 20-inch bass drum. Here's my 22 on the right, tuned a bit bombastically. So unison playing. Thing there, and then of course you can bring it in doing other things. So my first clip here is all about using unison style playing, because I'm, like if I'm doing a single stroke roll, that kind of business there, but in a different way. That was unison, right on right, left on left, right? And that's terrific to do, that kind of thing. Of course it is, that's everybody starts. But what I'm getting at is a little angle where it's like you're doing diagonals, okay? Right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. And one of the things, I really do have a theory where this sort of thing is almost to do with time, age, and that kind of thing, in the sense that there was a time in lessons where the hi-hat on 2 and 4, your jazz stuff, carried over from the 50s. Carried over into Sakata. Ouch. That kind of playing, Earl Palmer, some of the old rock and roll greats, I've mentioned a few guys there. I'm big on history. Whenever I mention an old name, go look them up. They're fantastic, sort of thing. I was listening to Bernard Purdie just last night with some of his grooves. Brilliant. What a legend. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is being able to do this kind of thing, but with a little bit of a twist, because the thing is, history, when history comes in, there was a time when the hi-hat was very, very important. I've had students come to me from other lessons, and the first thing they've done at my drum kit over here where I teach is lock off the hi-hat and just sit there and just go, and I'm going, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Oh, my old teacher got me to do that. And I said, that's like cutting a limb off. Ridiculous, I tells you. How controversial. I'll probably get a nasty email from someone now, but what I'm getting at is get the left foot happening, even if you just pedal it. Back after the break, hey? And there you go.